In the small town of Ravenswood, nestled deep within a dense forest, a chilling legend had been passed down through generations. The tale spoke of an old, decrepit mansion that loomed on the outskirts, a house cloaked in darkness and whispered to be cursed. Few dared to venture near, for those who did were said to vanish without a trace. Sarah, a curious and adventurous soul, was drawn to the mystery that shrouded the mansion. Despite the warnings from locals and the eerie tales, her inquisitive nature propelled her to seek out the truth. With each step closer, the air grew heavier. The trees seemed to whisper warnings, but she pressed on. As she approached the looming structure, the mansion exuded an ominous aura. The once grand facade was now weathered and worn, its windows boarded up, and the front gate creaked open as if beckoning her inside. Sarah hesitated, but the thrill of the unknown propelled her forward. She stepped over the threshold and into the unknown. The interior was a chilling scene of decay. Tattered wallpaper hung like ghostly draperies, the floorboards groaned underfoot, and the air was thick with a musty, ancient scent. Every step echoed through the desolate halls. Despite the cold, a bead of sweat trickled down Sarah's spine. Whispers seemed to dance through the air, barely audible but enough to send shivers down her spine. In the dim light, shadows played tricks on her eyes. She moved deeper, her heart racing in her chest, searching for answers in the ominous mansion. She stumbled upon a room veiled in darkness. As she stepped over the threshold, a sudden gust of wind slammed the door shut behind her. Panic surged within her, but the door refused to yield to her desperate attempts to open it. She was trapped. The room was adorned with eerie portraits of a family, their eyes following her every move. The chill in the air grew colder, and Sarah's breath formed mist before her eyes. In the center of the room stood a grand, dust-laden piano. Its keys beckoned, as if inviting her to play a haunting melody. But as her fingers hovered over the keys, a low, menacing growl reverberated through the room. The portraits seemed to contort, their eyes glowing in the dim light. Shadows danced wildly across the walls, taking on sinister shapes that seemed to inch closer. Panic seized her as she realized she was not alone. The air thickened with a malevolent presence. Whispers turned into anguished cries that pierced through her mind. Sarah's heart pounded in terror, her instincts urging her to flee. But the door remained steadfastly sealed shut. Suddenly, the piano keys began to play on their own, a haunting melody that seemed to echo the mansion's tragic past. Sarah trembled, unable to comprehend the supernatural force at play. In a flash of lightning that seeped through the boarded windows, a ghastly figure materialized before her, an ethereal woman, her face contorted in agony, her eyes pools of darkness. The wails grew louder, filling the room, drowning out Sarah's own terrified screams. The ghostly figure reached out, icy fingers grazing Sarah's skin. The air turned frigid, her breath hitching in fear. It was as though the spirit wanted to impart a message, to share the tragic tale that bound her to this forsaken place. In a final burst of otherworldly energy, the specter dissipated into the ether. The wails subsided, and the chilling presence lifted. The door creaked open, allowing Sarah to stumble out into the moonlit night, her body trembling with the encounter. As she fled the mansion, she knew she had survived the haunting, yet the tale of the cursed mansion and the tormented spirits within would forever haunt her dreams. The chilling whispers and anguished cries would linger as a reminder of the horrors lurking in the shadows of Ravenswood. Sarah vowed never to return, but the ghostly encounter would remain etched in her memory, a tale to be whispered in hushed tones for generations to come.